Gobble-Ins is a 2 to 4 player competitive treasure eating game where you control a hungry goblin whose diet has evolved to the point of being able to consume valuable trinkets and powerful weaponry. The greedy human adventurers that live in the world above your secret hovel have grown so spoiled that they don't think twice about unknowingly tossing their perfectly good gear down to you and your fellow goblin kid. So what do you do in a game of Gobble-Ins? You feast. Treasure cards will be drawn from a deck and are represented by tokens on the game board. In order to consume these treasures, you'll have to watch their trajectory as they move down your goblin hovel at the start of every turn. A pair of dice are rolled to determine which of these treasures will move, how far they'll move, and what direction they'll go as they tumble down towards the bottom of the pit. After these treasures have moved, you'll spend action points in order to maneuver your goblin around the board and pick up treasure, as well as perform other varying actions that will help you make the most of your turn while the other goblins are competing against you. The treasure deck is composed of more than 70 completely unique cards that not only net you victory points for adding them to your goblin's stomach, but also grant you powerful asymmetric abilities that can gain you the upper hand against the other players as you progress from turn to turn. Whenever you perform the Eat action, you'll place the consumed treasure card on your player mat, which represents your goblin's anatomy. This mat functions as an inventory system that shifts its contents down as your goblin places items in its mouth, swallows them, and works them through its stomach, where they can eventually be digested. Treasures held in your goblin's mouth or stomach grant you the powers described on each card, which can give you an edge over the other players. But before you can use them and spend action points on your turn, your goblin will automatically digest down the contents of its stomach, which shifts one card from each column to the right. Treasures can only grant you their powers until they reach the farthest right slot on your mat and get covered up, meaning the treasure has been fully digested. You can no longer call upon their strength, but you score bonus victory points for every treasure you manage to fully digest, making use of each treasure's power while you can before they hit the bottom of your goblin's gut, and managing this inventory puzzle of what abilities to keep in your stomach and which treasures to fully digest for more points is the key to victory. Outside of moving around the board and eating, you can spend action points to steal treasure right out of the open mouths of other goblins, digest manually to get treasures through your goblin system faster, and even spend bile tokens, this game's form of currency, to forge treasures right in your goblin's own stomach to harness their own unique abilities. The game will end after a set number of rounds based on player count. Players will tally up the victory point value of every treasure card they've consumed, and the player with the most victory points will be crowned the winner of the game. Gobble-Ins features a large amount of replayability, with a large deck of treasure cards that you'll only see a fraction of each game. Dual-sided player mats with asymmetrical inventory slot layouts for different styles of play, and a game system that lends itself well to additional expansion content with more treasure cards, goblin characters, and more. So bring your appetite, make effective use of the treasures you've consumed, and claim the title of the most well-fed goblin in Loot's Abandoned.